What we find in general is that if you're using social media in order to build relationships, right, so you're sharing content with friends, you're interacting, then that is associated with all of the long-term measures of well-being that you would intuitively think of. Long-term health, long-term happiness, long-term feeling connected, feeling less lonely.
That was Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg testifying back in 2018 that his social media platform was actually healthy for users. Today, thanks to a series of explosive reports from the Wall Street Journal, we have learned completely the opposite, that Facebook knew the opposite was happening for teens across the world. Throughout this week, the Journal has a series that exposes a number of shocking details from internal documents within the company. Joining me right now to discuss this is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for being here. We learned a lot this week about Facebook, that actually documents show that Instagram has been harmful to teenagers, leading to thoughts of suicide and worse. You also had a series of reporting from the Journal saying that drug cartels were posting and human traffickers were posting and trying to lure in people to their illicit businesses, and Facebook did little about it. What is your reaction, and what do you want to see happen?
What we are doing with this, first of all, is beginning to look through all of these documents and look at what Facebook knew and when they knew it. Maria, as you know, I have talked for several years now about the harm that we had anecdotal information on, about the information we had with drug traffickers and human traffickers, sex traffickers using Facebook and other social media platforms, child predators using these platforms. And big tech would always say, oh, no, this isn't validated, even though we would hear from physicians, many times pediatricians, that there were mental health concerns, psychological concerns of children with addiction and utilization and exposure on social media. So now what we're finding out through a whistleblower is that, yes, indeed, Facebook knew this. Facebook did have the research on this. They chose to continue anyway marketing to children. Teens and kids are 40% of Facebook users, but they continued to do this marketing to pull them in, and they made a choice not to block the drug cartels, the sex traffickers. They allowed them to continue on their platform.
Will anything be done about this in terms of accountability? When would you expect it?
Yes.
Or do you not expect something like that while the Democrats are in power?
Now that we know they have the research, they have known what they were doing. They can't deny it. They can't say, oh, we know we're healthy, we're good. We can begin to pinpoint some of this. And moving forward with online privacy, data security, Section 230 reforms are going to be things that we will approach, and we'll do it in a bipartisan manner, and therefore actually get something done to rein in these big tech companies.
Yeah, and then, of course, there's the censorship issue where they censor things that are against the Democrat Party, like they censored the Hunter Biden story right before the election. You don't hear a word about the crisis unfolding at the border. Look at these pictures where this week we saw 10,000 plus, almost 11,000 people waiting under the Del Rio, Texas bridge to get apprehended. I mean, this is just one day, 10,000 people waiting to get apprehended so that they could come into the country and be legal. And I mean, and that's what happens. They come in, they get apprehended, they want to get apprehended so that they're legal until they see a judge, and that might be never. I mean, Senator, is anything going to happen with this border where we're talking about 200,000 people a month getting apprehended, and the Biden administration is doing nothing about it? Wide open borders.
They want those wide open borders. You know, we continue to say, if you want an infrastructure project, build the wall. But Maria, this week, we received notification that the FAA has restricted drones flying over the Del Rio sector because that international bridge that is there in Del Rio, they do not want that drone footage showing that people are coming in. So the White House is in violation of First Amendment rights for news organizations and for citizens who are wanting to see what is happening at that southern border, because they're going to prohibit that. They continue to try to suppress information. They're using their friends at big tech to do this. And here's one final stat for you. 90% of all of Facebook's users are outside of the U.S. and Canada. But Facebook spends only 13% of their time pulling down this destructive and misinformation content. In that 90%, they use the balance of that time, the bulk of that time, policing and censoring what is being said here in the U.S. and primarily against conservatives.
Wow. Yeah, because it sounds like they're all political operatives, not journalists, but they want to make believe they're the arbiters of truth. Senator, it's great to have you this weekend, and we will be watching your moves on all of this. Thanks very much, Senator Marsha Blackburn, joining us in Tennessee.